everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Sawyer Cloud. I am a full-time illustrator of children's book, and in this channel I'm sharing my artworks, the process behind them, and also my thoughts on the creative life, creative journey, and my very small experience. And so today you're watching my last Patreon post. This is an illustration that I did for my patrons in the Baobab tier, inspired by magical universe, magical creatures, and so my patrons, I gave to my patrons printable files that they can use to print the illustration as a gift or for themselves as posters. And so I did that. First, I'd like to apologize for the delay between this video and my last one. I failed this time and I'm really sorry, but I keep doing my best to post valuable contents in this channel. So please stay around if you feel like you want to share this journey with me and grow together. Because I'm just a beginner. I don't consider myself yet as an established artist, though I do it full-time because I'm still on my third year of experience and I still have many things to learn. That was the short introduction for this video. Today I'd like to talk about a subject that is very appealing to me and on a very personal level. So I wanted to talk about dealing with insecurities as a full-time creative. So recently I've had some very hard moment in my work, and there were many insecurities coming along. So insecurities may happen for many reasons. The fear of not getting enough projects to save the month, or not getting any client at all. So this happened to me during my first months with my agency. When I left my full-time position, which was a creative job, but I left it because I wanted to pursue my own career. And when I left that job, I was going through a hard breakdown because I was very uncertain that I'm going to get new jobs and that people will see me and will actually contact me for their projects. And uncertainty also may comes from different stuffs. Even if you are already working on a project, it's never safe. It's never safe like if you were doing a usual job, like being an accountant or a doctor, when you know that you're going to receive a salary whether you work hard or not. But when you work as a creative, nothing is really sure, even if you're already on a project. So in my case, actually, I already have many ongoing book projects with my agency and with some of my own clients. But the payments take really long. Mostly when you work in the traditional industry, it can take up to 5 months, even 1 year, to get the full payments on a project, which is something you have to take into account when you go to that direction in your career. So as you see, you may have many works, but not enough money to live to pay all your bills in a month, because you're only going to get paid after 5 months or so. So uncertainty is very present in your life, in your daily life, when you choose to work as a full-time creative. And insecurity also may come from the fear of being forgotten. So it happened to me, it's happening to me right now as I'm talking to my voice recorder. I'm always afraid of being forgotten on social media whenever I don't post enough or when I'm not consistent enough, and not only losing followers, which happened to me on this channel and also on my Patreon page. It's very hard to deal with the feeling of losing someone's interest. It's like you betrayed that person, or you were not good enough and you're just boring, and there's nothing worse than feeling like you're a boring person, mostly when you are a creative, because you want to share your universe, you want to make people dream and being happy seeing your work. So losing people is like is like losing your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and somehow you kind of lose a part of you, which is a very silly game, because this is a general thing about social media. The number of followers that you have doesn't really describe your worth as a person, as a creative. So it is a tricky thing to focus on the numbers, but I have to be honest with you, sometimes it's hard not to just not care. I'm not sure if my English is good, is right, but that's the feeling I feel right now. There is also the fear of being forgotten, even by your former clients. Like there are new artists every day, which is great, but sometimes you just feel the pressure, like clients may forget you, you may lose your own clients, or the editors that you've been working with, or even your agents. When you work at an agency, there are days when you just don't receive emails anymore, like for months or even for years. And I have some of my artist friends who had the same experience with their agency. Like the agents just forget you somehow, and maybe this is my personal thought about the subject, but maybe it has to do with your online presence as well. Like when you lose worth on social media or on the internet, when people start to forget you, they don't put you on the front line anymore. Like they want to invest on other artists who may bring more money thanks to their fame or something like that. So fortunately, I'm not on that position yet, but I know that many of my friends are in that or have been through that. Yeah. I'm getting a bit nervous. This is a subject that is really hard to talk about, but I wanted to share my thoughts with you while you're watching this very cute video. There is also the fear of not being good enough. Like we are always comparing ourselves to other artists, and I really admire the artists that do not feel this way, because it's a very rare quality in creatives. We just keep comparing ourselves to other artists who have more followers, more fame, and more clients, and more money, and more everything. They are just beautiful and talented, they're amazing, and there comes a long list of all the things that you don't master, and it just makes you focus on all your weaknesses, and you constantly feel like you're not good enough, you're never good enough, and you start to hate everything that you do. And that's what happened to me recently. Like, even though I have many projects going on, I just feel like I should be more skillful, or I should know more things about colors, and when I lost a passion, I just feel like I should have been more engaging, or I should have been more, I don't know, more professional, more interesting, like some famous artists like Freinert, for example, which I love. I really love her, and I'm one of her patrons. But I just keep focusing on that side, and I just keep hating more and more myself and my art, which is not good and which is very toxic, because I love myself. I love myself, and I admire a lot all the efforts that I've done through the months, through the years. But it's just like a shadow, a part of me, a very dark part of me that just appears whenever it wants. And it's very hard to manage it when it happens. And I know that somehow this dark side is very related to the insecurities and uncertainties that come in your life as a creative. Yeah, and there is also the lack of knowledge. I can talk about me. For example, I am very late in the technology and internet. I learned it very late, like 4 years ago, because I grew up in a family, in a poor family who unfortunately didn't have the money to own computers or cell phones or stuff like that. So it came very late for me, and I had to process everything at the same time, like learning to use internet, learning to use a tablet, a phone, a cell phone, a computer, and stuff like that. So there is a huge lack of knowledge that I had to feel through the years, a very short amount of time, because as I said earlier, there are artists every day, new artists, and so there is that kind of competition that goes along, competing with skillful artists, for example. So I know that the competition is not real, but somehow it is a kind of psychological, like you constantly feel like you have to prove something, or the way people who will forget you, and you will miss stuffs. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself when I started. I needed to process many things at the same time, and I just yeah, whatever. So what's the consequences of all these things, of all these insecurities? Obviously it is depression. I am myself processing depression issues, mostly because of all of this, but somehow there is also personal stuff that just makes it harder and makes it grow bigger when you go through this. So there obviously you just go through depression sometimes, and also the consequence may also affect the health condition. In my case, because I'm a diabetic type 2, in my case, whenever I'm stressed or whenever I feel insecure, I know that it can raise my blood sugar, and it can also increase my stress level. So it affects all the system inside my body. Like it doesn't produce enough insulin to process the sugar in my food and stuff like that. So when I feel stress, my blood sugar just rise, and I have blood peak. I'm not sure if it's the right term in English, but it just rise like crazy, and it takes me 1 or 2 days to go back to the normal amount of sugar. So yeah, that's pretty depressing, and I'm really sorry, but there is always dark and white, dark and light side, and that's the thing. When you are a creative, you just feel the feelings, the emotions very hard, and sometimes it's hard to manage a good balance between those two sides. And but it definitely is manageable through time and with practice. So this is how I deal with my own insecurities. Well, I just keep doing my best. This is as simple as it is. I just keep on doing my best, and just go through all these emotions with bravery, and just face everything and process everything as it should, and then let go and begin again. Yeah. When it happens, I also try to kill my thoughts. Like whenever I'm overthinking, I just try to mute all the voices in my head, which is not obviously something easy, but I try to do other activities, like maybe reading, or just lying on the grass in the garden, or listening to music that I don't usually listen to, like rap music or classical music. And also going to the gym really helps me manage it all. I go to the gym 5 times a week in order to control my diabetes, but mostly to control the stress level, and just let go all the emotions and stress and feelings through doing physical efforts, and like sweating, and just doing something else, like something physical, instead of just thinking and using my brain and my heart. But for a moment, I'm just focusing on the physical side of my life, and just giving it 100% in every sport activities that I do. So yeah. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about insecurities, and these are just based on my personal experience, and I know that it can be different for every artist. And so please, if you want to add something, like an advice or your own experience, you can share them through the comment section, and I would be really happy to read your story and to comment back. So I want this community to be really strong and supportive, and trying to make it as positive as possible, because there is already too much darkness in our world, and let's just process it all together. So thank you so much for listening to my voice and for watching my video. I would like to thank all my patrons who support me monthly on my Patreon. So I've decided to rework on my Patreon page when I will have time. So I'll try to give it enough time this month before the end of the year. And I'm going to rework on everything and make it engaging, and let's build a supportive community. And I would like to maybe talk more about my work, about children's book in my Patreon page, and maybe making monthly videos, sharing with you my word and how I live in Madagascar. I don't have the professional equipment for that, but I will do my best to record things, to create stuffs out of the things I have, even my cell phones, even my phones, mobile phones, I mean. And yeah, so thank you so much, and I hope that you're enjoying your December. I'll try to post another video this month so that we can catch up and just end this year with positive vibes. And yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please subscribe for more videos, and wishing you all the best in your creative journey. And feel free to message me on Instagram or on Patreon if you are one of my patrons. If you have anything, any question or any request you'd like from me on in this channel. And I'm really sorry for the English clumsiness. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm doing my best. And yeah, so thank you, and bye, guys. Bye.